Hi. Change.org asked me why I signed the petition and what justice for George Floyd would mean to me. First, I signed the petition because what was done to George Floyd was heinous, inhumane, but too familiar. And for a long time, a very long time, I felt very hopeless and powerless. So many times we heard in the news that a black person was killed without justice, and we didn't know what to do. I was thinking you have to at least be a lawyer, and I'm not one. This petition allows anyone to help with an issue that affects not just one state, not just this country, but the whole world. I think it is safe to say that the video of George Floyd being murdered has haunted, depressed, and enraged anyone who has a human heart. It was excruciating to watch, and it does something to your soul when you see someone who looks like you being treated like that. And even if the person doesn't technically look like you, it does something. It has to do something to your soul when you see a human being treated like an animal. On the bright side, it is very refreshing to see that so many people are finally understanding how broken the system is. And I think that's why so many people of other races are joining the movement too. To all of you, black and otherwise, who are supporting the Black Lives Matter cause, I see you and I really appreciate you so much. Now, what would justice for Floyd mean to me? The murderers have to pay for their crime. In the video, we only see one person on his neck enjoying what he was doing, but three people in total were on George. One on his lower back, one on his upper back, one on his neck, and one blocking the crime. So four in total. Four in total for one man who was handcuffed on the ground. Four officers for one man who promised to cooperate with them if only they would let him breathe. I asked myself, why is it so hard to arrest and charge police officers when clearly they have done something so awful? There's something called qualified immunity. The best definition I could find on the internet for qualified immunity was on Wikipedia, and this is actually true. It says, it's a legal doctrine in the United States federal law which shields government officials, including the police, from being held personally liable for discretionary actions performed within their official capacity, unless their actions violate clearly established federal law, even if their victims' civil rights were violated. I want to believe that when the Supreme Court granted that law back in 1982, it was in good faith. Like, we can trust the police officers to do the right thing, but in extreme cases when they have no choice, then they're covered. However, clearly they have taken advantage of that law. I mean, look at what happened to so many black people. Whether there were videos or not, the reason for their deaths did not make sense at all. And then you see the police officers moving on with their lives while the families, friends of the victim, and as well as the whole community is scarred for life. There's a bill in Congress now introduced by U.S. Representatives Ayanna Pressley and Justin Amash called End Qualified Immunity. This bill is to prevent police officers from getting away with brutality and murder. Justice will properly be served if this bill is approved. The good news is you and I can help. You don't need a college degree for this. You just need a phone or an email address and internet, which you probably have if you're watching this video. You just have to call or email the members of Congress. You can literally Google their names and their information, their contact information is there, emails and phone numbers. All you have to do is call or email the members of Congress and or your elected officials and explain to them the need for the End Qualified Immunity Bill. Tell them how you feel about police brutality. Tell them how you felt after watching the video of George Floyd's murder. If you went to a peaceful protest recently, just tell them what you had on your sign. You and I can change history. Whether you're black or not, you and I can contribute to how we and our future generations live. All we need to do is donate our time. Just a couple minutes to Google the information of your U.S. representatives, elected officials, members of Congress, to call them, email them. In the description below, I will leave as much information as I can about the U.S. representatives, members of Congress, and elected officials, at least for Maryland. That's it. It's free. And like the petitions we sign, it will give you the feeling that you contributed to something huge. So there. Justice for George Floyd would mean to me that the police officers who killed him are arrested, charged, and serve time. That way, the families and friends, as well as the whole black community, will get some relief. And police officers will bear in mind that there are, in fact, consequences for abuse of power. Justice for black lives will mean to me that qualified immunity ends and the old cases are reopened. Because so many black people have died without justice, and it's not fair, nor is it okay at all. There are petitions right now on change.org and other websites to reopen cases for black lives, innocent black lives that have been taken by police. The end qualified immunity bill will mean to me that police officers would think twice before letting their God complex take over. They will be more likely to respect their oath of honor, and we civilians would eventually feel protected rather than threatened by police.